In problems 19 through 23, we kind of start we start seeing that they're asking us to find the missing number that's right here. We don't really have to work this any differently than we did the problems before that. If you remember, what did I do? Well, I labeled log A, B, C. It was an alphabetical pirate logbook. And we're going to rewrite it in terms of it's the exponential function, which is its inverse, I, C, of B. Well, the A is 7, C is 2 in this case, and B is the missing X. Okay? Well, what is 7 squared? It's 49. Oh, my answer is 49. Now, you could have just said 7. Remember, the little base is the base over here, this little 7 here. The 2 here is the missing exponent because the whole log is equal to this 2, and that 2 is the exponent. And then the number that is in the middle, that's usually, before they were giving us that, and now we're just trying to find it. So you could have just said, oh, it's 7 squared, which is 49. Let's try another one. Let's try 27. It looks a little different. Okay, so number 27 says log. Oh, now the base is missing. Oh, actually, I meant to go do, let me do 23. I meant to go do another one like that. Or 20. Let's do 21. Just looking for things that might look a little weird to you. And again, if it looks weird, rewrite it. Use that log ABC and I C of B to rewrite it. If I want to do this quickly, I can just say the base is 9, the missing exponent is negative 1/2, and the thing X is whatever 9 to the negative 1/2 is, okay? Now, if you don't see how to get that, let me go through how you could have gotten that if you didn't see how to do it quickly. If you labeled this log A, B, C, and you say I'm going to rewrite it as I, C of B, the exponential form. A is 9, C is this negative 1/2, and my missing B, which is X in this problem, is equal to 9 to the minus 1/2 power. Okay, well, what is that number? Let's go over here to work it. Well, the negative exponent says that 9 to the negative 1/2, it wants to be on the bottom. If we put it on the bottom of a fraction or on the other side of a fraction bar, wherever it is, the negative exponent becomes positive. Okay? Well, then you have to think, well, what is 9 to the 1/2 power? When you raise something to the 1/2 power, that's the same thing as taking the square root of it. So X is 1 over the square root of 9. And since the square root of 9 is 3, we'd have X as a third as our answer. We'll look at 23, just so we can, again, review some things we learned earlier in the section. If you, again, don't be watching this video except to check your work or at least have tried it before you watch the video and then stop it, see if you can kind of pick up and kind of keep on carrying out. If you can get past where you're stuck, don't just copy the video down. You won't learn that way. All right, let's say I don't know what to do with this, because usually if you're watching the video, you're stuck, okay? So you've got log ABC, you label it, and now you say I'm going to change it over to I C of B so that I can think about it better, because I know things about exponents, and I don't know much about logs. Well, my A here is 4. My C here is the negative 3/2, and this B thing in the problem is my X that I'm trying to find. Okay, so now if we look at this, we could have just said on the left is 4, on the right is negative 3/2, raise 4 to the negative 3/2 power, and that's what the number in the middle is going to equal if we were trying to do this quickly. All right, let's figure this out now. I see a negative exponent. That means 4, who is sitting on top of an invisible fraction, doesn't like being on the top of the fraction. It wants to be on the bottom of the fraction, so we're going to let it move to the bottom and write the exponent as a positive. The exponent becomes positive because now 4 has a better attitude. He's all happy now. He got to move where he wanted to be. Okay. All that negative does is just say move me to the other side if you want me to be positive. All right, so I've got 1. I fill in with a 1 on top. And I say, okay, on the bottom I need to simplify that. Now if you remember, the bottom of a fraction means that we're going to take the square root of that 4. And when we get done, we always start with the bottom of the fraction, taking the root. And when we get done, we're going to raise it to the third power. Okay, and that's going to be whatever X is equal to. All right, so what is the square root of 4? It is 2, but I got to cube it, So 1 over 2 cubed would be 1 over 8, and we were done now with 23. Move on to 25. Now the base is missing. So you know the thing about this is you can pretty much have anything missing and solve it by relabeling it the way I have shown you. If I'm trying to do this the fast way, I would say that little base is my base in my exponential equation, this little x. And then on all the way to the right is the exponent, and it's equal to the number in the middle. So I would get that. But if you don't see how to do it quickly, let's go back to labeling. We label this. This is an alphabetical logbook on the pirate ship. And we say, I see a B, okay? And we go, well, what is the A? A is X. What is the C comes next? The C is 3/2. And then on the right-hand side, we're supposed to write B, and B in this case is this 27 here. All right, how do I solve this? Okay, we could think backwards, but one way we could do this, we actually had these problems earlier in the chapter too, and I'm going to come over here to solve this. If I have x to the 3/2 power is equal to 27, and I just want to get x by itself, if you remember, if I have a power and I raise it to a power, I can multiply those powers. So if I choose to raise it to the reciprocal power and I multiply those, they're going to cancel out. The 2 and the 2 would cancel out. The 3 and the 3 would cancel out. But if I raise the left-hand side to the 2/3 power, I got to raise the right-hand side to the 2/3 power. Okay. Over on the left-hand side, I just have x to the 1 because all these things canceled out and left 1s over 1, which is 1. I'm just going to write x. And now I have 27 to the 2/3 power. And if you remember, we start by looking at the denominator of the fractional exponent. That means take the cube root of 27. And then when I get done, what I'm going to do is square it. I'm going to do whatever the top of the function, top of the fraction says. That's the power that I raise that answer to. Once I have cube rooted it, I'm going to raise it to the second power or square it. Well, now the cube root of 27 is 3, but what's 3 squared? Oh, that's 9. So my answer to 25 is 9. Just because 27 looks weird, I'll go ahead. I'm going to work out a lot of these so that if you're stuck on any one, you've got resources, because my app is going away August the 31st from what I've been told, and I won't be able to make videos after that date. Okay, let's assume that if you're watching this, you still need some help here. Let's go ahead and label it log A, B, C. We're going to rewrite it I, C, B. Now my A up there is, in the original problem, A is this X right here. C is this over here on the right-hand side, negative 1/2. And the B was a 7. It's right here. Okay? So now, I've got X to the negative 1/2 equals 7. Now, if I want to get X by itself, I could just raise it, since it's already raised to a power. If I want to solve this, what I can do is raise X to the negative 1/2 power to the reciprocal power of negative 1/2. Well, what's the reciprocal of negative 1/2? It would be negative 2 over 1. Because if I multiply negative 1/2 and negative 2 over 1, I'm going to get a positive 1, right? So I basically raised it to the negative 2 power, because negative 2 over 1 is the same thing as negative 2, right? So if I raise the left side to the negative 2 power, I'm going to raise the right side to the negative 2 power. Sorry for that line that just went flying over there. It's my wrist that hit that. So X is 7 to the negative 1/2 power. Okay, we don't want to leave it like that because we're not supposed to leave answers with negative exponents in them. Now, 7 to the negative 1/2 power, it's on the top of an invisible fraction. I'll put the 1 on the bottom so we can actually look at the fraction. And that negative exponent is saying, move me to the other side and make me positive. So I just did it. And we fill in with a 1 on the top. And 7 squared on the bottom is 49. So my answer is 1 over 49. I'll go ahead and look at 29. 29 is a little different. Little catch to it. Log of x to the first power is 0. Okay? So let's go ahead and go through our little process here of labeling this. Log x, log A, B, C. I almost forgot to do that. And then we're going to rewrite it as I, C, a B. Okay, well, A is x, the C is 0, and the B is 1. Y'all remember that I told you that anything to the 0 power is 1? Well, that is true, except we couldn't let, I don't want any negative things going on here, negative exponents. I don't want to put a 0 on the bottom or anything. What I would say is, okay, I can put in anything I want to that's positive. Actually, any number would work there, but your book's being really particular about some. It says you don't want 1 to the 0. Now, I've never heard that before. So they say you want positive numbers and you want x not to be equal to 1. I guess the reason they don't want a negative number, if I had -3 to the 0 power, it's like they're saying that's going to end up being -1. I've never heard that before. So just realize that this right here could be anything. And the book's being very particular about that and saying, yeah, they would only let it be positive and they wouldn't let it be equal to 1. And here's why I think they say that. 1 to the 1 is 1, right? So to say 1 to the 0 is 1, that's kind of weird. So they're just saying, hey, avoid that weirdness. Again, I'm sure there's some math book that has that written down somewhere that you shouldn't do that, but I had never heard that before this problem. I'll try to do another one. Oh, video's out. Okay, that'll be it.